Thank you for joining us today. I'm Travis Cummings.
And I'm Natalie Finnorn. We begin with a pleasant change that comes just in time for the holidays. You may have noticed that your car is filling up with less at the pump. Gas prices are dropping throughout the country, and the state of Alabama is seeing some of the lowest prices in the nation. The current average price for regular gas here in Mobile is $2.80. I reported on why gas is becoming cheaper. If you have gone to fill your tank lately, you may have noticed the low price per gallon. According to AAA, the national average gas price dropped below $3 per gallon Saturday. The last time the national average gas price was below $3 per gallon was in December 2010. Spring Hill College students say they are excited about the drop in price.
It's awesome. I scream every time I drive past the gas station. I get really excited. Every time I fill it up, it's even better.
Gas prices normally go down during the autumn months because people drive less. Gas stations also begin to use winter blend gas. This year's prices are even lower than usual because of the decline in crude oil cost due to strong production and global economic concerns. In addition, some nations that are members of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries are willing to let the prices go down in order to maintain a competitive market share. Alabama is seeing some of the lowest prices since the Southeast has easier access to oil refineries that produce cheaper domestic crude oil.
I just love being able to drive my car a lot longer. My car gets pretty good miles to the gallon, so the fact that I can use maybe $25 to fill up my tank is awesome.
We definitely hope that those prices continue to drop and save you a couple bucks. Maybe that money could be used for gifts for the holidays.
Talking about money, the financial aid department here at Spring Hill College is making major moves this year, leaving students and staff to adapt to some new changes.
In the past, student accounts managed collections from all payment sources, and the student aid department processed all of the loans and types of aid students receive. Vice President of Business and Finance, Rhonda Shirazi, tells us that this year, that has all been changed. The two departments are consolidated into a single division, creating one Student Financial Services. Students are assigned a representative who will work with the student from their enrollment to graduation on all their education funding sources. We feel this will create a much better experience for our students and their parents, says Ms. Shirazi.
Shirazi says that the first semester of implementation is the most difficult, as everyone is learning all the new processes, and that Student Financial Services would like to thank the campus community for working with them. If you have any questions regarding your student account, you can visit their office on the first floor of the LAC.
Speaking of new departments, Spring Hill now has a sexual assault response team, better known for its acronym SART. Our reporter, Kerrie Ebanks, sat down with Lori Rowland to get all the details you need to know about SART.
Colleges and universities across the U.S. have seen an increase in the number of sexual assault cases within the last few years. Currently, 80 colleges and universities across the U.S. are under investigation in regards to how sexual assault cases are being dealt with. The Sexual Assault Response Team was created at Spring Hill College in an effort to provide services to students who may be a victim of sexual assault. I sat down with Lori Rowland to get the scoop on what SART is all about.
Last summer, a committee of faculty and staff was created in order to find better ways to respond to students who have been victims of sexual assault here on our campus. Currently working on another program here on campus called the Step Up program, and it's a great bystander intervention, and it addresses all those things. It'll teach us what to look for, when to understand that something can turn into a potentially dangerous situation, how to intervene, and what we need to be doing to keep things from happening here on campus. There are several reasons why I think somebody should contact SART, especially if they're hesitant or they're not sure if a sexual misconduct has occurred. Possibly if they don't remember what happened the night before, but physically they feel as if something may have happened, if they're perhaps questioning if consent was given freely, or even if they're concerned about a friend.
For resources and support, contact a SART first responder at 251-623-4309. Reporting for Badger Television, I'm Kerrie Ebanks.
The Sexual Assault Response Team is here to help, and once again, you can reach them at the number displayed at the bottom of your screen.
This week, we take a look at a few desserts that you can easily create. First off, we have an ice cream sandwich. Start off by getting 2 cookies of your choice. Then, swirl your favorite flavor of soft serve ice cream on top of 1 cookie. Cover with a second cookie, and voila! You've just made an ice cream sandwich. For our second dessert, we've got a hot brownie with ice cream. Simply create this delicious dessert by getting a brownie, then heating it up in the microwave for 15 seconds. After, top it off with some of your favorite ice cream. Our last creation for today is an ice cream float. Start by filling your cup about 3/4 of the way with your choice of Coke or root beer. Add some vanilla ice cream and you've got a refreshing float. That does it for this week's Caf Hacks. Join us next time.
It's that time of the year again, and registration for next semester has already opened. Our special correspondent Trevor Warren sat down with several current students to discuss the best options for different situations.
Guys, thanks for coming. I really appreciate y'all coming out. So let's start with Fromy. Fromy, you're just kind of a basic major path, nothing real special, but how do you go about managing your core? What have you and your advisor talked about as far as how to course select?
Well, for my major, it's just pretty easy. I just talk to my advisor, look at my degree audit. I did switch from another major, so it wasn't too bad because I got to take all of my core up front. And so I'm finishing up my core this year, and so now I'm ready to start all of my major classes. So it's just talk to my advisor and see which ones fit my schedule best.
All right, great. Livy, you are a double minor, and would you mind telling us what your majors and minors are exactly?
I am a political science major, double minoring in philosophy as well as Spanish.
Man, see, I am a double major myself, so I can kind of understand how, a bit time-consuming that be. But so, having said that, how do you manage your time? How do you manage what core you're going to take, what class you're going to take? What have you and your advisors talked on in regards to this?
My advisor and I have discussed what classes do overlap. Philosophy and political science do have a few courses in common, so that really helps in managing your time and making sure you do get things accomplished. And the fun of having the double minors as well as the major means that you can mix it up. So it's really important to get a mix throughout the semester. So I'll be taking a good mixture of core as well as Spanish philosophy and some political science.
And then finally we have Medicangus, and you're kind of a double hitter. You went to Italy recently,
yes.
And you were undecided at one point, and just recently kind of picked theology as your major. You want to talk about how you've kind of been working with course selection and how you've gone about picking your courses?
Absolutely. Well, as a freshman, I was completely undecided and going into my sophomore year. So the core really helped. You're having to take these classes anyway, so I really just dove into the core and kind of saw from there what I enjoyed learning about and went from there and talked to different professors. In Italy, it's perfect for the core as well. You already online, you can look at normally the next 2 semesters, what the course offerings are going to be for Italy. So you can wait and take some of those courses. A lot of it is core, and wait to take them until you get to Italy. By that, I just talked to my advisor a lot, figured out what I needed to hold off on, so it let me then take some of my major courses before I went to Italy, just because of the time placement. But it works out really, really well.
I wish I had that advice coming in as a freshman.
It sure is helpful. Now to Rebeca Marroquin for your 4-day forecast.
We start off our 4-day forecast with a cold front. The high for today will be 59 degrees and partly cloudy skies with a low of 34. Tomorrow, we expect a beautiful sunny day with a high of 55. Temperatures will drop going into the night with a low of 33. Saturday looks a bit warmer with a high of 62. Perfect temperature to enjoy Badgerfest, but you may want to grab a coat for the fall affair as the low for the evening will be 44 degrees. We end our weekend on Sunday with a high of 65 and a low of 41. This was your 4-day forecast. Tune in next time for the weekend weather update.
The results from last week's midterm elections are in. I took a closer look to fill you in if you didn't hear about the results. Voters across the country lined up to vote in last week's midterm elections. The Republicans now have majority control of Congress. Republicans gained the 6 seats needed to end the Democratic majority that has been in place since 2006. Republicans also gained 11 seats formerly held by Democrats in the House of Representatives. The Associated Press reports that 41% of Alabama's voters showed up at the polls. Voters ages 18 to 29 made up 13% of those who voted in Tuesday's midterm elections. Spring Hill College student government president Ricardo Pita spoke with Badger TV about how important it is for students to vote in their state's elections.
Midterm elections are important, period. More than students, everyone must be engaged in midterm elections, especially students, actually, who already have a low voter turnout for presidential and midterm elections. But the midterm elections are especially important because they decide the entire membership of the House of Representatives, and in this case, in this 2014 November election, will decide who controls the Senate.
Chairman of the Baldwin County Republican Party Executive Committee, Matt Simpson, also stresses the importance of students exercising their right to vote. He said if young people aren't motivated to vote, then elected officials won't be motivated to focus on issues that affect younger people. In Alabama, Governor Robert Bentley won the governor's race over Parker Griffith with 64% of the votes. Bradley Byrne won his first full 2-year term to the House of Representatives. Republican U.S. Senator Jeff Sessions ran uncontested and was re-elected to represent Alabama in the U.S. Senate. There are many tight races in states across the country, and this impacted who ultimately gained control of Congress.
Definitely a big change in Congress. We will just have to wait and see what happens over the next 2 years. But for now, let's take you around the hill in 30 seconds with Rebeca Marroquin.
We are back for Around the Hill in 30 seconds. Kibbs Laundry Services has made its way to Spring Hill College. Kibbs is a hassle-free way to get your laundry done quickly and effectively with a weekly pickup. For more information, visit kibbslaundry.com. You can participate in an online survey that focuses on your experiences at Spring Hill. You could win a $100 gift certificate to the Spring Hill bookstore. For more information, contact Dr. Jamie Franco Zamudio. Come out Tuesday, November 18th to the Race Dialogues. Each night starts with a viewing of part of the award-winning documentary Mobile in Black and White, followed by an interactive dialogue between Spring Hill students and community members. Refreshments will be served. Tonight, original Dove Beauty girl Stacey Nadeau will be the keynote speaker at Embracing Real Beauty, which encourages women to reject the media's definition of beauty and find the unique beauty in themselves. This event is being presented by TriDelta in honor of their annual Fat Talk Free Week. That was Around the Hill in 30 seconds.
Intent to graduate forms went out to all seniors. Many of them are beginning to make plans and decisions for the year to come. We sent Diego Juncadella to meet with a Spring Hill senior who is planning something extraordinary upon graduation.
Taylor Russ is a Spring Hill senior and former Delta Gamma member who currently balances school with working full-time in financial aid. She is about to embark on the most daring adventure of her life. I caught up with Taylor to speak with her about what the world race means to her.
I chose the world race because of its idea of going to 11 countries in 11 months. You're always on the move. I like the idea of basically you're giving up everything, every comfort of this life. You're living with a backpack. Not all organizations are, they don't really necessarily cater to that. I loved the different aspects of like the different countries we're going to go to, the variety of things that we're going to do. It's always a very scary thought to give up everything you've ever known and to dive into something that's so different than anything you've ever experienced, but at the same time, in those places, that's where you find yourself the most. And it's going to be an incredible growing experience. So even though it's going to be the most difficult year of my life, but I know it's going to probably be the most amazing year of my life, and I just can't wait for it. So Spring Hill is all about doing service and making a difference in our communities, and mission of the college resonates with me because that's something that is dear to my heart, knowing that the college cares about going out into the community and doing work to share God's love to the world. So Spring Hill has prepared me to now make this bigger step where I'm going to be making a difference in the whole world around me and really stepping out of my comfort zone in an entirely new way. I've given up a good bit already for this trip, and I can't even begin to imagine what more I will probably be giving up in the next year. I've given up my apartment. I'm about to give up my job. I've sold a lot of things that I own. Moved in with my parents. I've been fundraising, which for me is kind of uncomfortable to ask for money. It's very out of my comfort zone, so that's been a challenge. That's all kind of part of why I'm doing the race. It's basically just an opportunity to sacrifice everything for God and to do something that is just going to change the world.
I'm Badger TV reporter Diego Juncadella. Now back to you in the studio.
The ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha hosted their inaugural Stroll Off this fall, and our reporter Kerrie Ebanks was there to witness the fun. The Pyro chapter here at Spring Hill College raised funds at their Stroll Off for childhood hunger awareness. AKA would like to thank everyone who came out and had fun, but most importantly for contributing to their philanthropy.
Sophomore SGA member TJ Chatham discusses his plans to restore Mirror Lake. He explains the reason behind this idea and the steps taken to put this plan into action. Chatham also touches on how the students of Spring Hill College and the community as a whole would be affected by the restoration of the lake.
Yes, we have a lot of plans, and I think the most notable one that I'm currently working on is this grant called the 5-Star Restoration Grant by EPA. Well, the EPA grant, it focuses on sort of restoring areas that have been damaged, specifically like wetlands. And the more I researched it, the more I noticed that we might have a pretty good case with Mirror Lake. The reason why I'm focusing on Mirror Lake so much is because in the past, it used to be a great hub for student involvement and whatnot. People would go there and swim in this lake. But like I said earlier, from the highway construction, it destroyed the spring that caused it to that caused water to go into the lake. So I think restoring this lake will again bring our community closer together. I think prospective students would love having the aspect of lake on campus and everything. Really, I just think recreating this, not recreating, but building Mirror Lake will just be a perfect spot for students to hang out and I guess sort of come closer with nature.
We previously brought you a women's fashion segment, and now we have some helpful tips for the men as well. Our special correspondent Devon Sheehy shows you how to dress sharp.
We're here at Franzia's with Mike Mazzar, who's displaying some formal attire for us. 3 things you got to remember when dealing with an outfit is 1, overall comfortability. 2, you must choose the right fashion for the right season. And 3, in order to look good, you must feel good.
When looking for a suit, the ideal thing you want to look for is a store that has a tailor who can measure your arm length, shoulder length, and neck length. Tailors can also measure your pant length and your waist length for your slacks. This is important so the suit fits you comfortably. When dealing with formal occasions, Jimmy Francia, owner of Francia's, states, "What a lot of people don't realize is the difference between a black tie affair and a white tie affair. And then there are certain things you can wear to formal occasions." Reporting for Badger TV, I'm Devon Sheehy.
Everyone has a favorite style and everyone has a favorite movie. And if you are a true fanatic, you know the lines by heart. Reporter Kerrie Ebanks went out on the hunt to find what the favorite lines are on campus.
From comedies to classics, I'm here to ask everyone what's their favorite movie quote.
My favorite movie quote is "No Day But Today" from Rent.
My favorite movie quote is from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and it's when Dumbledore said, "You're a wizard, Harry."
I actually have 2. The first one's from Talladega Nights, with Will Ferrell saying, what do I do with my hands? And he keeps raising them up.
You complete me. Jerry Maguire.
Okay, so you're probably going, is this like a Noxzema commercial or what? But seriously, I have a way normal life for a teenage girl. And of course, as if.
My favorite line is from Forrest Gump, and it's, "Sometimes there just aren't enough rocks."
Milk was a bad choice. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a says Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind.
And on the 3rd day, God created the bolt-action Remington rifle to fight the dinosaurs and the homosexuals.
My second favorite movie quote is from Good Burger, where it goes, "Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I please take your order?"
Why didn't you write me? It wasn't over for me.
I wrote you back every day for 365 days. It wasn't over, and it still isn't over.
My favorite movie line is from Nacho Libre, and it is,
"Get that corn out of my face!" From Nacho Libre to Jerry Maguire and even Mean Girls, we all have that one movie quote that we hold near and dear to our heart.
What's your favorite movie line, Travis?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
That's funny. What movie is that from?
Rush Hour.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Before we sign out, we want to open the program for any student interested in being a member of Badger TV. This program is open for all majors. Those interested can email us at badgertv@shc.edu. Include your name, year, and major, and one of our producers will get in contact with you for more information.
Make sure you do it soon, as interest has been shown and auditions will be held before the semester ends. That does it for today, Badgers. Once again, I'm Travis Cummings.
And I'm Natalie Finnorn. Remember to join us again next Thursday for our final program of the semester. Thanks for watching.